Solid conditions as we set up for the first heat of the day. Griffin Colapinto, S.Pupo fighting for a spot in that second semi-final heat. It's not Happy Birthday to You, Ro, the song. It's AC/DC. Hell's bells. Let's get this on. First big exchange happening here at the moment. Griffin's going to swing on this one. Really finding a clean track out here is going to be key in laying down some big turns. A positive start here for Colapinto. Nice opening hit, cuts back to the bowl, sets up a more vertical approach for his second effort. As you can see, a bit more height in the waves today, but it is a bumpy track, and he has gone through this one without a glitch. Really smooth approach considering that bump on the face.
Watch Griff's one here. There's like 3-foot lumps to get through on this one. He did well to maintain through all of that. But what do you think, Richie?
I think Griff's going to get the nod with this opening exchange. These moments that happen, it's a little stop-start, but he made it count when those sections popped up, connects with the lip, and on these bigger lumps of energy, it's harder to tag these big, lips and sections that are coming down at you. You've really got to manhandle them, and Griff's done a great job on this opening ride.
And right behind him, second wave of the set. We'll see if it's a little cleaner. He's got some foam on the face to deal with, S.Pupo, but does well. Cuts through a couple of nice turns. Sammy's a competitor that on a steep wall has that vertical punch, that real explosive energy. He's done well to find a great pace and good timing here at Bells Beach this year. He's looked right at home, and that's a great way to kick off the day. So waiting on those opening numbers to come through. And who do you think got the win on the exchange, Ro? Yeah, it was the Master of Flow last year on his run through the contest, and you were right, Rose. He had a lot more bump on the face, but he teed off when the section stood up, Griffin. Sammy, he had a bit of foam to deal with.
He did, and also looking at the steepness of the sections for Sammy, it just wasn't quite there. The critical nature of Griffin's wave, where it really stood up for him to hit the lip line. Yeah, you can tell now on the replay it was a little bit more lateral for Sammy. He gets to work over there, but a lot more foam on that face. Tags that one off the top. I really like the finish from Griffin, and also the opening.
Just such impressive nerve being shown by Griffin Colapinto and Jack Robinson in this event, just to reconnect with the kind of performances that they had through the early stage. So this is a big opportunity for him. He's going to be very aware though of this guy S.Pupo, and just the absolute zip that he's had on his run through the contest. He's thrown some real risk at sections. There's another example of that. Medium-sized ride though, so we'll have to surf it up and hope for a big finish here on the inside. Just riding high on the face to gather that speed. Gets a nice little click on the finishing turn. He's got his big bro.
Safely assume that it's an inch longer, maybe 2 inches longer, just given the conditions. Connects with that first lip line, and the second one more critical. Sammy does well to get back on the open face all the way through to the inside. So he's had 2 waves now where he's really had to wrestle with that foam on the face of the wave. Great angles here, Rosie.
Yes, the second turn to me, just so extended but committed. He really made a good job of making that turn look bigger than what it was.
Just a great show of support for these brothers.
Well, here we go. Griffin Colapinto is going to take his second ride now. S.Pupo at a 5.77. The requirement is a 4.6 here for Griff. He's got a clean wall to deal with. Drives up into a chunky section, and it's a huge statement laid down. And the judges, I think they're going to have to throw a big number at that. That's by far the biggest turn we've seen this morning. Tom Whitaker knows the importance of stomping that move. And that was monumental. He gave it everything on that final section.
He sure did. And just what great wave choice here from Griffin. Connects with that first section. Really stabs it, and then patience all the way through this midsection. Beautiful cut back to set up this final turn on the bowl. Jams it on that big oncoming wall and negotiates all that power and energy as it comes thumping down behind him. You can see just throwing the arms up, projecting out in front of it. You could just see the board reverberating under his feet, just flexing as he landed. Here we go, Griff up and riding again.
Look at this bomb. Griffin drives up into that first section. A well-timed hit to get started, and again on the attack. He's tapped in this morning. He's feeling it and reading these lumpy sections so beautifully as he makes his way to the finish and gets on top of it, does well to hang on. He's loving it and really starting to tap into the emotion.
That was a great ride, and well, we heard the interview with Croz. You know, the crew on the stairs there at Coach's Corner.
The outside, Richie, take us through this.
Yeah, big wave outside. Griff just connects with that first section, negotiates it perfectly, and then another big oncoming section just tags it. A little bit of downtime here, but you can see these critical moments are just popping up in front of him. Touch late to the last one, but geez, he did well to get there. And then just goes into some pretty unique climb there.
Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, last airbender. That was the haircut he was running for a while. But Griffin Colapinto, you know, on his run through the contest last year, he was so smooth, he was so well paced, but it felt like he two-wave total of 17.36 to get himself the lead. He's taken off now. And there is an aggressive tail slide on a tall wall there from Sammy to get started. This wave stands up again, goes to the rail, cuts back to the bowl. This wave pushing off the reef a little bit, but he'll get a big end section to attack here. And he does do well to hang on. It's a bouncy ride. And he gets out in front of it. Well done.
A couple factors there too. I mean, the sun looks so beautiful on that wave, but just the fact of having that early morning sunrise in your eyeballs as you're trying to attack those sections.
Well, clearly much bigger conditions from anything we've seen in this event. Sammy just brings this radical approach to the first turn. Gets the tail slide, a beautiful swooping cutback here, and then this final turn had so much drama about it. This big section looms up in front of him. Sammy just does this sort of down carve. And here was all the theatrics as he muscled his way out of that foamy section.
These are such committed turns too. Griffin was committed on tall walls, on chunky sections, but Sammy kind of got the opportunity to really lay into both his big turns.
Yeah, this is such a good answer back when you're in that combination situation, because this is going to be exactly what he needs. Really competitive heats is why they do this. Watching Griffin trying to improve on the 7.93, this is a smaller looking wave, less impactful sections, but as he works this one through, definitely the finish of this wave, just so intense.
Bang. And when you think about Griffin's other rides, Rich, there's been tall sections, kind of placement, floats, impressive turns, but that's way more attacking.
Yeah, heaps more flair on that final turn from Griffin. And there's just a slight question mark around the opening manoeuvres.
Can he get to his feet before the hooter? I believe he does. It's a medium-sized ride, though. So he's just begging for this thing to stand up so he can lay into it. And he had to go big. He had to try the risk at it. You can already see that wave starting to flatten out. And it's talking about the run of the Brazilians in this contest. Well, California's had some success as well. Cole Houshman with the victory last year. Before that, 92, Richie Collins, and then Tom Curran obviously getting a couple of victories here at Bells as well.